What's up, everybody? It's the Bipolar Prophet, and welcome back to Old Ridge Farm in Farming Simulator 15. So, if you remember from the last episode, we had started our harvest. We got the two fields over here finished, and now we're going to move over to 8, 9, and 10. And then after that, we're gonna see about selling all this grain, see how much money we can make, and hopefully we can buy some stuff. I kind of need a replacement tractor. I don't know if I need a replacement tractor, but I kind of want another one. You know, and we're going to take a look at and see what we can get. I definitely want to get the skid steer just because I've been saying I want it, and it's really cool. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go empty this grain into the silo, because I'll put it all in the silo for now, and then we can set up a course maybe for Courseplay to sell it once we figure out where the best place to put it is. So we'll go ahead and get this fired up and turn off the parking brake and jump in, and down the road we go. Make sure I actually have some steering. Oh, because the first time I went to record this, I'd accidentally forgot to load up the profile for my steering wheel. Didn't have any steering, so that was interesting. Still cloudy here on Old Ridge, but that's okay. You know, as long as it doesn't rain, we'll be fine. So I'd like this fog to burn off a little bit. You know, I know technically you wouldn't probably harvest when it's, you know, when there's a lot of moisture in the air, but, you know, for the game it doesn't really matter, I guess. So I don't want to wait too long to do it. So I decided to do it. It's not supposed to rain for a couple of days. It won't take a couple of days to do this little bit of harvest we have to do, so it won't be an issue. Okay, so now everybody's favorite adventure, backing up. Let's see how this goes this time. If I could make one edit on every map that's ever been made, it would be that you never have to back up. Just drive into stuff, you know. I mean, obviously, you know, in real life, you're going to have to back up into stuff occasionally. So, I guess if I just, you know, used my head and did it, it would be a lot better. So, okay. Well, that could have went a lot worse. So, I'm going to have to try to remember to save some of this grain for the animals too, because they're going to need it. And once everything is sold off and everything, we're going to sell off the animals we have that are ready to be sold, and then we can. Oops, forgot I changed the key binding to change the direction on drive control. Once everything's sold off, we can sell the animals off as well, and that should bring in quite a bit of money. So, because we have quite a few animals, so between the grain and the animals, we should make a fair amount of money, and then we can pick up the stuff we need. So. I think, you know, I'm trying to kind of determine how many tractors I actually need on this farm. To be honest, you know, it's not very big. You know, obviously as we develop here, we're going to buy more fields. But for right now, we don't really need. I don't really need to go this way, do I? We don't really need that many tractors. So, but I really want that skid steer. So, plus it'd be nice to actually start using some of the JCB stuff, because I haven't really even used it. You know, I tested it out. I played with it a little bit, and then that was basically it. So I've kind of been waiting, you know, for a need to be able to buy it. So, but I think I'm all done with that. I want that skid steer, so we're definitely going to buy that. We have the money for that right now. So after the harvest, I think we'll pick that up. What else is going to need to be done? Well, obviously the apples and the pears will need to be harvested and you know, brought over to the store. And then we'll have all the groundwork. So, you know, there's quite a bit of stuff to do now. We're kind of moving, you know, in the direction of all kinds of stuff going on, which is nice finally. You know, we finally got to the point where everything's kind of rolling along. So I will just park this over here under this tree. Hopefully that'll be out of the way enough. Go ahead and turn that off. No sense leaving that running. And we'll tab around to the harvester. Now, hopefully I get the harvester in this field. It shouldn't be too much of an issue. Make sure we turn on the beacons. See. And off we go. I can turn that off. I don't need that for the moment. So now I realize that you would not drive a harvester down the road. Oops, if I got, you know, on the path, that would be helpful. You wouldn't drive a harvester down the road with the head on, but you know what? The header trailers are just not great. Even the ones with locking scripts, and that's just me with the locking scripts, you know. I have a hard time getting them on the trailer the right way so that they lock correctly, you know. So I'm going to break the law a little bit, and I'm going to drive down the road with the head on, and hopefully none of the, you know, local police decide they need to stop me and be like, you can't do that. we'll keep the speed, you know, reasonable and get on to the next field. It's not a very long trip either. You know, that's the thing. You know, it's a short trip from field to field, so it's so much easier to leave the head on than to, you know, take the head off, put it on a header trailer, you know, drive the header trailer and the combine to the next field, hook it up, and all of that. You know, and again, I know that's realistic. That's the way it's done. But for me, unfortunately, this is kind of the way that it needs to be done. So, yep, gonna drive over the grass. Whoops. Yeah, I don't, you know, I guess if you had if you know, if you were good with the header trailers and you could, you know, get the head on the trailer and then drive it around, you could use a bigger combine, but to be honest, I don't know why you would. I mean, none of these fields are so big that this thing is, you know, terribly inefficient. So, now, here I'm going to have to clip a hedge, I think. I mean, the gate is plenty wide enough to get in. That's not really the issue. Oh, no, I guess we're going to be fine. It's just making that initial turn, so. Okay. And like I did in the last episode, I'll do the harvesting myself, and I will drive the combine to the tractor when it needs to be emptied, so. And off we go, so. Still have 2 hours left on the rental. Should have no trouble finishing that. So hopefully what I can accomplish in this episode is to get all of the harvesting done. Get this field done. Get fields 8 and 9 done. I really need to clean this mess up because now I'm just pushing logs with the head, which is never good. You know, that's some more stuff. There's a lot of little I said it again, cleanup stuff that needs to be done on the farm after this harvest. So, and also, you know, after the harvest is when I'm going to install soil mod. I'll do all the edits that I want to do to the map. So probably the next time you see this farm, it's going to look a lot different. So, well, not a lot different, but, you know, significantly different, I guess. Make sure I'm getting it all in the edges here without going through the hedge. Oh, there we go. And not hitting the bus stop on the other side of the hedge. I'm sure the village would not be happy if I, you know, suddenly demolished their one bus stop with, you know, with my combine. So, not to mention the dealer wouldn't be thrilled with that either. So, now see, that might be a neat addition. You know, if somebody could come up with a damage mod that wasn't completely, you know, ridiculous for Farming Simulator 15, you know, and then tie it in with the rental mod where if you damage the equipment that you're renting, you know, you got charged a fee, I guess. That would be kind of neat. Oh. The damage mod in Farming Simulator 13 was cool, but it was just way too finicky. You know, you would accrue damage, you know, just by hooking stuff up. You know, which isn't realistic. You know, you obviously you need to be able to hook stuff up to your tractors and, you know, and other equipment. So you shouldn't really accrue damage. I could see wear and tear, and maybe that's what that was trying to simulate, but I think it was a little too sensitive. So. But it's great to finally be harvesting. It's great to finally have this farm sort of, you know, up and running now in the fashion that I've been wanting it since, you know, episode 1. Now I realize, and I've said this, you know, there's always going to be setup. There's always going to be, you know, all the stuff that needs to happen in the beginning of when you first sort of show up at a farm, you know. It just seemed like it took a long time with this series, but at least we're there now. So again, you know, I don't know how many more videos I'm going to make, you know, for this series. But because I never set a number, I never say, okay, I'm going to do 40, you know, no matter what happens, or I'm going to do 20 or whatever. You know, I just play until I think that I've done everything, you know, that could be done on a map, and then, you know, move on. And it also depends on how much fun I'm having on the map, and I really like this map, so, you know, and I think now, you know, once the harvest is done and once I get soil mod installed, and then that'll basically be a whole other thing, you know what I mean? Soil mod is, you know, is a mini game in and of itself, as you guys probably know, you know, you guys that use soil mod, so, you know, that'll be a whole other thing. So, you know, this series could go on for quite a while. You know, and the other thing too now, especially now with all the UPK placeables, all the stuff that you know you can add to a map. There's no need to ever end playing on a map. You know what I mean? Unless you just get bored with it and want to do something else. So. You know, I've been playing on Bjornholm now for, you know, well, almost 200 hours. You know, and the map just keeps changing and changing and changing. So, you know, and it just keeps being more and more fun. So I don't ever see myself stopping playing on that map, you know. This is a pretty good size field. If you remember from my epic silage episode, this is where, you know, this field used to have alfalfa in it. You know, and I just got a ton of alfalfa off of this field. I remember this field, it didn't, you know, it doesn't, again, it's another one of those fields, if you look at it, that doesn't look very big, but it has a lot of stuff on it. So I just got to keep my eye on the header so I'm not missing stuff. Want to be as efficient as possible, obviously. So, you know, that's really a big thing when you're renting stuff. You know, you can't really be dawdling around too much, because I could have rented this for a day or 2 days or whatever, but that's, you know, that's just money spent for no reason. That's one cool thing about this rental mod, is that, you know, you can rent by the hour. So now I don't know, you know, obviously in real life, if you were to go rent or lease a combine, you know, very doubtful you'd be able to rent it for an hour. If you needed a combine for an hour, then you probably don't really need a combine. But at least in the game, you know, it's a good functionality. So let's see, what's today? Today is Tuesday. You guys will see this video on Wednesday. I want to, oops, I am full. Wow, full already. I was just, it's funny, I was just complaining about the yield, right? Well, not complaining, but mentioning the yield, and then we went around the field twice and filled up, so that's cool. Okay, grab this guy. Get that turned off, and we'll go empty the harvester. And while we do that, like I said, today's Tuesday. When I'm recording this, you guys will see this on Wednesday. So come Saturday, we're going to have a little bit of a special event. Well, not a little bit. It's going to be a special event. As you guys probably know, I stream every Saturday for a couple hours. Well, this Saturday, I'm going to be streaming for 10 hours from 8 o'clock in the morning my time, USA Eastern Standard Time. And I'm going to be streaming for 10 hours, and we're going to have a little bit of an event, sort of a donation drive, I guess you could say, where, you know, I'm a big believer in community. As you guys know, I always use the word community. I consider us, you know, on this channel a community. You know, all the friends that hang out and watch videos and whatnot. So what I would like to do, what I want to do, is turn that off. Let this unload. Is we're going to try to raise some money for a very good for a friend of mine, a great YouTuber, a guy who makes great YouTube videos. We're going to try to raise some money and help Farmer Beavis get a wheel. If you haven't checked out Farmer Beavis's channel, I will leave a link to his channel in the description of this video. He's also in my featured channels on my main YouTube page. He is very deserving of this, I think, because he makes great videos, puts a lot of work into his videos, a lot of thought, does a lot of great, you know, mod showcases stuff, and explains how to use it. You know, a lot of the UPK, the placeable stuff, the stuff that that's not quite so self-explanatory. And I really think that, you know, for sort of our first, you know, give back sort of event, I think he's a great recipient of that. So it would be cool. Oops, wrong thing. It would be cool to see you guys all there. Remember, it's going to be for 10 hours, so you're going to have plenty of time to stop in. You know, if you want to, you know, and we're going to try to raise some money and have a good time. So 10 hours. I don't know what I'm going to do for 10 hours, but I will figure it out. You know, obviously, probably going to play every game I own. Have some laughs. There's going to be a lot of BP nonsense, you know, the general stuff that you guys have come to expect from me. And it should be a lot of fun. So save your pennies, you know, $1, $2, whatever you can spare, you know, and we'll help Farmer Beavis get a steering wheel and a pedal set. And it doesn't have to be a G27, you know, and it doesn't even have to be the full cost of whatever, you know. If we can just help him offset it a little bit, I think, you know, it'd be great. And that's something I want to do fairly regularly, maybe every couple of 3 months or whatever. You know, just pick a member of our community that, you know, that does a lot of hard work for us, does a lot of great things for us, and, you know, kind of give back to them. So I hope to see you guys all there for that. All right. Now, so back to this, and back to Farming Simulator, and back to Old Ridge. I'm trying to think if there's anything that I was thinking about that I haven't told you guys about. Well, I told you guys about the edits. What I'm going to do, I'm going to take out the mix station, the feed storage silos, and then all of the silage bunkers except for obviously the ones on the BGA and the one at the dairy farm, just because I don't need that many. So, and I certainly don't mind carting some silage from the dairy farm down to the, you know, to the pigs and the beef. You know, plus it'll, with only one silage bunker, we'll go through it faster. I won't have silage everywhere like I do now, and it'll be, you know, we'll go, like I said, we'll go through it quicker, and it'll give us a reason to make more silage. You know what I mean? Because I do like doing silage. So, you know, I was kind of running through the stuff that that I have right now. I have plenty of silage at the moment. I have plenty of hay. Still have all the hay from the 1,500 subscriber Q&A special that I did, where I, you know, mowed and tedded it and baled up the big meadow at the top of the map. Still have so much hay, but I don't have very much straw. So, you know, I'm putting soybeans in kind of you know, hindered us in that respect because it doesn't leave a windrow. But we'll get barley or wheat in the ground after this, and we'll make a bunch of bales. So I told you guys about field 8 and 9. Gonna probably put greenhouses over there, I would think. So I'm not gonna put a ton of UPK stuff on this map. You know, just for the simple fact that I don't want to crash the game. You know, sometimes too much stuff of that nature will start to cause problems, and this map runs really well, so I don't want to screw that up. But you know, the apple trees, a couple of greenhouses, I think will be fine. I'm trying to decide whether I wanted to get whether I want to get into lambs or not. I don't really know. To be honest, I may actually get out of the pigs. Yeah, you know what? I think I want to do that. I think I want to just focus on the dairy cows. I definitely want to buy more dairy cattle, and we'll just do the beef cattle and maybe get out of the pigs. I don't know. You guys can let me know what you think about that. You know, I don't know that I want to do all the animals. I did at one time. I don't know if I still do or not. You know, obviously it's always, you know, with that sort of setup, it will always be something to do. But what I really want to do is I want to get more into the, you know, I want to buy some more fields, and I want to, you know, eventually have a really big harvest. You know, do more arable sort of stuff, I think. You know, along with the animals. So. But you guys can let me know what you think about that. If you want to see, you know, more animals, you want to see, you know, pigs and beef and lamb and all that, you know, you guys can definitely let me know. And you know, if I get enough people that say, yeah, do that, then, you know, maybe we'll do that. If I get, you know, if you all decide, oh, you know what, just do one kind of animal, and, you know, well, the dairy cows are definitely staying. They're not going anywhere. We're going to keep the dairy cows. Those are always one of my favorite things to do, you know, in the game. So we're going to keep those. But you guys can let me know about the other animals, I suppose. I also was thinking about it today. You know, I wanted to talk to you guys about this. First of all, let me say this. I don't make videos for views. I don't make videos for subscribers. I certainly do not make videos for money. Because there is no, you know, the tiny bit of money I get paid through my network for what I do, you know, if I was doing it for that, I wouldn't be doing it. Let's put it that way. I do it because I enjoy it. I do it because I love playing games, you know, this game, obviously, in particular. And I love sharing it with you guys. But one thing I'm kind of noticing lately on the channel, and, you know, and again, it could be a seasonal thing. It could be, you know, a number of factors. But I wanted to kind of ask you guys, the views have kind of been dropping on the videos. And I wanted to know what you guys thought about the general sort of, you know, quality, the format, the way I make videos. You know, if there's anything that you guys are maybe not liking, you know, that you would maybe like to see done differently, I guess. You know, if there's something I can do to make the videos better for you guys. Now, you know, quality-wise, unfortunately, there's not a whole lot I can do about that at the moment, because, you know, my computer is what it is. It does a pretty good job, I think. You know, I try to use the software that will impact the performance the least. You know, I've gone to Audacity for my audio recording now, so that's a little better. You know, so quality is not really something I can improve quickly. You know, once I you know, accrue some money, once I, you know, save some money and can build a new computer, then, you know, the quality will improve, obviously. But is there, you know, is it a format thing? You know, do you not like my just general babbliness on everything? Would you like to see, I don't know, more sort of role play stuff? You know, more, I don't know. You know what I mean? I'm gonna. That's why I'm asking you guys. You know. And I understand that, that I'm only ever going to get so many views, and it's not about that by any means. But I also want to make sure that I'm making videos that you guys actually want to watch. So, because for me, I am perfectly happy just driving around, doing stuff on a farm, and making a video about it, But if it's not something you guys want to watch, then, I'm still going to do that. I just won't make videos about it, I guess. So I'm kind of, reaching out to you guys to tell me what you guys would like to see more of, I guess. As far as other games on the channel, you're always going to see different games on the channel. You're going to see Euro Truck. You're going to see, racing games occasionally. I would love to do more Assetto Corso, like career stuff. But unfortunately, when you start putting a bunch of cars in that game, at least for my computer, it gets really resource intensive, and it gets to the point where I have to turn my resolution down, I have to turn the graphics way down, and it just doesn't look great. I may try to record a little career, and with the settings that it'll run at, and run good. It'll run, with the settings kind of turned up, so it's real pretty and everything. But it's not, it's not awesome, and I don't know what kind of video it would make. So I may try it and see, and then that's something else you guys can let me know about. I have a bunch of other games that I really want to start getting back on the channel. I really want to start getting Space Engineers back on the channel. I want to start getting, actually it'd be easier to turn around this way. Turn around. I want to start getting Space Engineers back on the channel. Some of the older racing games that I've had for a long time that are just awesome. That I'd like to get back on the channel, get on the channel, and some other games too that I come across occasionally and think are fun and think you guys might enjoy. Really, no. Again, if I was focused on what I was doing, but overall, I guess I'm asking you guys to let me know what you think of the channel. Do you like the way it's going? Do you like, the videos? Do you like what I do? And I know that part of my, I guess, attraction or whatever, part of the entertainment value of my channel and or of the channel and of the videos is that I'm basically a blathering idiot. I know a lot of you guys tune in to see, what's BP going to talk about today, and how long is it going to take him to back up into things and all that. And I really appreciate it. I appreciate every single one of you guys that come down and watch a video. Click like, subscribe, comment, share the videos. That's, all that stuff is awesome. It means a ton to me. But I don't know. I guess maybe I'm just getting to the point now where I'm like, you know what? Is there something I can be doing better? So, and I kind of need you guys to let me know if that's the case or not. So, I mean, obviously there's always things I can do better, I watch a lot of videos, you guys know, and I always see videos from people who, who are putting story bits in their videos and doing some role play and making great videos, and I'm like, wow, I'm doing none of that, well, with the exception of maybe Amagawa with the storyline I've got going there, and, I'm starting to wonder if my just sort of general rambliness and nonsense is not really that good anymore, I guess. I certainly don't have a confidence issue when it comes to making videos and stuff, because to be brutally honest, I don't really care that much, you know what I mean? I'm going to make videos the way that I make them, for me first, and then it's awesome that you guys like them too. Now ultimately, having said that, the channel is getting to the point now where it's becoming important. Well, it's always been important, but it's becoming even more important now that I know what you guys think. So I can kind of tailor the videos to what you guys actually want to watch. So, okay. Me, I'll just ramble on about the same thing for an hour and a half. That's probably one of the things you guys would like to see changed about the video, about the the videos and the channel in general. But and I've said this before too. Sometimes it's a little tricky to find stuff to talk about for 40 minutes. When you're making a video. So I guess that's the other thing I should ask you guys. Do you guys want do you like the videos kind of at the length they are now? I'm trying really hard to keep them to the 25, 30, 40 minute range, somewhere in there. Because I think anything shorter than about 30 minutes is too short, and obviously anything more than about 45 minutes, except for on special occasions, is kind of too long. So I've been really trying to keep the videos, full again. Wow. There was quite a bit of soybeans on this field, more than I expected, really. I guess that's good, though. We certainly need the money. So, I hit that already. Go away. I will say it's very nice. It's really cool when you're harvesting a field and you see the chopped straw all over it. I think that's a neat touch. So, all right, you can stop there and get turned off, and I will jump out and jump back in the combine. Wait for that to unload. I'll have a sip of my coffee. As you can see, it's 5 minutes at 10 minutes at 10 in the morning. I wanted to get some stuff done today, so yeah, we're gonna have quite a bit of soybeans off this field. That's good. Oh, that's really good. Oops, should probably back up a little bit, and I should probably turn that off. I changed some key bindings in drive control, and I'm still remembering what everything does. So there we go. You know, it's funny. I think that's kind of the ultimate challenge. I think, you know, to make when you make, you know, simulator game videos, is to make them interesting, because let's face it, you know, these are all sandbox games. They're not linear. They don't have a beginning and an end, you know, unless you manufacture a beginning and an end. And I want to send, speaking of that, I want to send a huge shout out to Sean Blaylock, who might have come up with the coolest ending to a Let's Play series that I have ever seen, at least in Farming Simulator. You know, he combined Farming Simulator and Euro Truck, and came up with a great story, and it was, you know, it was just awesome. Sean, I said this, I left this comment in on that video. He's going to put me out of business with stuff like that, because that was just great. And to be completely honest, and I don't want him to feel like he has made me feel bad in any way, because he didn't. But that's what got me thinking about my channel, or our channel, I should say, and what I'm doing. You know what I mean? I'm like, you know what? That's so good that it made me, and I spent a long time looking back on watching videos and going, you know what? You were funny for about 5 minutes back in the day when, you know, when your bumbliness was new. But is that really the thing now? Is that the thing that keeps people coming back and watching your videos? You know, and if that's the case, then that's fine, because let's face it, I'm only ever going to be as good at this as I am. No matter how hard I try, dumb shit is going to happen to me. It's just the way it is. But I would, you know, but yeah, but that whole video, I've never had a video change my perception on things so much. And it's a good thing. It really is. I don't want Sean to think that, you know, that he screwed me up in any way, because he didn't. I didn't watch that video and go, okay, well, I can't top that, so I'm never going to make a video again. That certainly was not, you know, my thought process at all. But it did get me thinking about, you know, the way I make videos and what I do in the videos, and whether or not I'm going in the right direction or not. So, you know, just stuff to think about, you know, and some questions to answer for you guys. I don't know how I always manage to do this. I always manage to leave a big strip, you know, or a chunk on either end of the field, and then nothing in between. BP, Combine Driver for Hire. I'm your guy, everybody. See, stuff like this, I don't know that this will ever go away, because I'm just way too much of an idiot to ever get this kind of right, but... So once this field is done, we just have 8 and 9, which are obviously, as you guys know, really small. Won't take very long to do those, and that'll be done. And then we're going to have to take a look at the prices and see where stuff is selling for the best. It's just a little too wide to get it all. That's annoying. I start driving around in circles. This is where Auto Combine would just go nuts, you know what I mean? Just driving around trying to find every little stock. I mean, that's what I'm doing basically, but... because, you know, every little stalk there, every little soybean, you know, is $1 on the field or so. So, and I don't want to leave too much money laying on the field. So, all right, get over here, get this last bit. Let's get over to fields 8 and 9, and then that'll be the last time we work fields 8 and 9. You know, for arable. So I don't need the grass. There's plenty of meadows on this field. I don't need to plant them in grass. I'll probably put grass down before I put greenhouses down, because I was thinking about that. It may be easier to place them on dirt, but I think they look better sitting on something. So, okay. Let's go. Let's make sure to turn this on. I'm going to jump out of the cab just for a minute. And we'll go to fields 8 and 9. And we'll get those harvested. And you know what? I could probably do this in the cab, actually. Do it like a big boy BP. Come on. And then after that's done, we can, like I said, we'll get selling this grain. So I need to reserve a little bit of it for the animals, though. And then I guess I need to make a decision about what I'm actually going to do with the animals. If I'm going to get rid of the pigs, I don't want to feed them. I know that sounds awful, but I'll sell the ones that are ready to be sold, and then just sell the rest of them, I guess. You know, it's kind of too bad. I should wait until they use everything over. You know what? Let's do that. For right this moment, until maybe you guys let me know, I'm going to say that I'm going to be done with the pigs. I hope I can make it through here. I don't know if I can or not. I may have to go around, because this is going to be tight. This is going to be very, very tight. This is where you need a header trailer, BP. Sorry, fence, if I hit you. Very slow, very careful. Can you imagine being a car coming down the other way, down the road, and seeing this? Okay. Whew. Very good. Or being out in your yard, you know. Maybe you're out with your kids playing, you know, kicking a ball around or whatever, and you see this thing coming down the road, you know, being, you know, millimeters from the top of your fence. Although, if you live in Old Ridge, you'd probably be like, oh, it's just BP. You know, we're used to him. Yep, that's a wall. Don't want to drag the head over the wall. Hey, we made it. Yay. So now, this is another field where you kind of say to yourself, well, it's not that small. No, it's really not. But I just don't think, really, that it's worth it for arable. You know, especially for grains where, you know, you need a lot of grains to make money. So, you know, if you were to factor in the cost of what it costs to rent this thing, you know, the machine and the header, what it costs for fuel to use, you know what I mean, and then what you made off the field by the time you got done, you know, with all the groundwork, so you have to, you know, factor in the diesel and the maintenance on the tractor that, you know, that you use to cultivate it, and then to seed it, you know, then to harvest it, and then to haul it. If you factor all of that in, I don't think that it would add up to a profit for these fields. And, you know, since ultimately farming is all about, you know, profit, I just think it doesn't make a lot of sense. So, and it's a fairly flat field, and it's a fairly, you know, wide area, so I'll probably be able to put probably four greenhouses down here. I don't know how many more I'd really want to put anyway. I don't want so many that it's a constant thing. Plus, you know, they're going to need manure, and they're going to need fertilizer, and that's all money. And, you know, in order to get manure at a rate that we can use it for, you know, we're going to need a lot more dairy cows. So probably what's going to happen is this. I'm going to be done with these fields, at least one of them anyway. I don't know about the other one. I don't know if I'm going to put greenhouses on both fields, because I just realized that, you know, I say fields 8 and 9, but that would be an awful lot of greenhouses, which would require a lot of manure and a lot of that sort of stuff. And, you know, we're going to have a lot of dairy cows. So probably what's going to happen is I'm going to work these fields, you know, harvest them at least, and then not work them again. Not, you know, maybe we'll come over here and cultivate them, obviously. Get the straw turned in, probably plant some grass. And then they'll sort of sit here for a while until we get our dairy cows up, you know, and we're making a lot of manure on a regular basis. And then with the soil mod as well, we're going to need manure. So, you know, there's going to be a lot of need for manure. So now that makes me think, well, if you get rid of the pigs, you're losing a source of manure. You know, if you get rid of the, you know, if you don't do lambs, you're losing a source of manure. So I don't know. Now all of a sudden the focus has become all about slurry and manure. I need more animals, I guess. Okay, so I guess that answers that question. I guess I sort of answered my own question with that. As usual, BP, you know, blathers on long enough in a video that he finally figures stuff out. So what do we got going on here? Got some washing hanging out. So this is a church, if I'm correct, right? Yep. It's Friday, so hopefully we're not disturbing anybody in there. So. You know, I'm sitting here, I was just being quiet for a minute because I was thinking, you know, there's a lot of cool UPK placeable stuff, or even not placeable stuff, that would be kind of neat to stick in these fields. I just don't know, I don't want to just randomly stick stuff in places because it's neat. I want to do it because it fits the map and because, you know, okay, that's something that you know, goes with you know, my always now changing vision of this farm. So maybe I'll take a good hard look at a lot of the UPK stuff. I have a lot of it on Bjorn Home, as you guys probably saw from my Bjorn Home update. I use that as sort of a test. I actually just did a cool thing on Bjorn Home. I I changed the map from, well, I didn't change it. I downloaded a modded version of Bjorn Home. Somebody had gone to the trouble of making a modded version of that map. You know, with the soil mod, with the manure and lime mod and all that installed. Did I say soil mod? I didn't mean soil mod. With the manure mod and the chopped straw mod and the lime mod installed on it. And the cool thing is now it's a mod. So I can open it up in Giants Editor. I can make big changes if I want to. I can install soil mod on it. And I'm really using it as a test to see, okay, you know, there's a lot of cool, you know, stuff that you have to put on, you know, buildings, you know, and other things with functions that do things. You know, that you have to install with Giants Editor. I'm fairly, I know how to use Giants Editor. Certainly I'm no David Oldfield. I'm no, you know, map maker by any means. You know, but I am trying to learn, and I'm using Bjorn Home for that. So, so it's really cool that somebody, you know, went to the trouble of modding that map so that you could actually edit it without, you know, crashing your game. Because as everybody knows, you don't edit the default map. You don't touch it. That's very bad. So, a lesson I learned pretty early on in Farming Simulator 2013 when Hagenstad decided to stop working because I'd messed with it. So, you know, without really realizing what I was doing. Go figure, right? That's the thing I wanted to touch on a little bit. You know, I get a lot of questions about, you know, Farming Simulator about, okay, well, this doesn't work, or this, you know, my game crashed, and you know, and you know, how do I fix it, or what do I do? You know, I really appreciate you guys coming to me with that stuff, you know, and I want to try to help you guys as much as possible. Just realize too that, you know, also I'm kind of busy sometimes. So if you guys shoot me a message on Steam or on Facebook or on Twitter, and I don't respond to you right away, please don't take that personal. It's just because I'm probably busy, you know, and as soon as I see it, I will get back to you. I had a nice conversation with somebody last night on Steam who was having some issues with their game. You know, and I tried to help them. Unfortunately, it was an issue that I hadn't really run into before, so, you know, I don't know how effective I was at helping them, but it was fun to try, you know. So, you know, I'm by no means an expert. I'm certainly not, you know, I'm not a replacement for Giants, you know, support or whatever. They're the experts, obviously, in their own game, but. You know, I have had enough experience, and I've made this game crash enough times that, you know, I think I can help you with most issues, and I'm glad to do that. So, just realize that, you know, if you message me and I don't get back to you, it's probably because I'm recording or because I'm busy. A lot of times I'll, you know, unfortunately I forget to shut Steam off, and I'll get up from the computer, and the computer will be doing something in the background, rendering or you know, or running a scan or updating or whatever. And Steam will still be running, and you guys will message me, and I won't get back to you for several hours. It's just because I'm not physically on the computer. So I will say one thing. all this sort of brown or yellowish brown, gold, I guess you'd say, really messes my eyes up. I think I might have mentioned that in the last episode too. So. 40 minutes. 40 minutes of me driving around a harvester, yammering about nothing. Well, you know, not nothing so much this time. You know, we actually had a few intelligent things to say. So I have a feeling this is going to be a fairly long episode. I'll tell you why. Because I want to finish this. I want to finish this harvest, obviously, and we're getting full. And I want to get all the grain sold because I want to buy something in this episode. So I'm just watching my my monitors here to see how much grain I actually have in the tank. So when we get to 100, we can stop. And I have to drive the tractor over here because I didn't bring it over yet. But. Yep, and we're full. Very good. All right, I'm just going to back up here, put out the pipe, turn the parking brake on so this thing doesn't decide to wander off on me. And, of course, I forgot that you have to wait for the pipe to come all the way out, but that's fine. Do I still have the beacon? Yep, beacon still. This is 58% full, is that what it says? 50? Yeah, 58%. I doubt very much we'll get both of these fields in this tipper. I'll have to probably run back and unload it, but that's okay. I think if we were to get two and a half tipper loads off of these fields, see, that's the thing, you know, that it just doesn't seem like an awful lot, and that's probably just me, you know, being from America where I'm used to seeing, you know, massive semi-trailer loads of grain, you know. Well, not used to seeing it because obviously around where I live we don't have that, but you know, you see it in videos and on TV and stuff. So, you know, it's a whole nother, it's a different, you know, it's a perspective thing, it's a scale thing on an English map, you know, or on a small map in general, so. Now, I may need to go outside the cab for this because this is going to be a little bit of an awkward end. Get it under there, don't crash into it, very good. Set the parking brake. Jump back in the combine. Apparently the pipe opened all the way up. Am I stuck? Oh, wow. Did you see that? I should be in the Olympics. That was a massive jump. Yeah, that tipper's going to fill up. Oh. So we'll probably get the rest of this in it, and then I'll go dump it, and then we'll go get on the other field. And then we're going to buy a skid steer. Because I want one, and I've been wanting one for a while, and it's time for me to just do it and buy one. So I may actually, if I buy a skid steer, I may get rid of the Ford. I don't know. I don't know what to do about that. Oh. Because to be honest, the Ford is not awesome at a lot of stuff. You know what I mean? It's not... It's powerful enough to cultivate and to do all of that sort of stuff. It's just not heavy enough, you know, because it doesn't have the front weight. And I don't want a tractor that does nothing but, say, cart. You know what I mean? I need tractors that can do more than one thing. Obviously, the skid steer is going to be, you know, our loader. It's going to lift bales. It's going to, you know, it's going to muck out the pigs and the beef and all that. You know, it's going to be, if we do any more forestry, it's going to be used for that. You know, that's what it's going to do. So at least it'll have multiple things to do in that one function. But the Ford, unfortunately, really is only good for carting. At least for me, anyway. So, because even with that small cultivator that I've been using, it works fine, but it's just really light, and it doesn't. I don't know. It's not particularly realistic in the sense that I don't know that that tractor would pull that cultivator without a whole bunch of weight on the front of it. So that it just does not have at the moment. So, all right, can I get all this in one pass? Can I get it all in one pass? Oh. I don't know. Let's find out. Did I get it all? Oh, I did. Nope, I didn't. Go figure. Okay, we'll get this bit here. And then, I never remember how to get into this field over here. Turn the beacons back on. I believe... Oh, you know what? I don't know if I can actually get in this field the way that you have to get into it. Oh, You know what? How about you look once in a while? Nothing coming. Very good. Here comes BP again. Don't worry about the laws, BP. You just do whatever you want, okay, buddy? Oh. I believe you have to go into this field from back here through the sort of apartment complex. Oh, I don't know. I don't know about that, guys. Let's try it. Why not? If it doesn't work, I'm going through the hedge. I'm just letting you guys know that right now. Okay. Let's try to skim through here again. I mean, you'd never get a bigger header through here unless it was on a trailer, which is the way it's supposed to be, obviously. Oh, fence, fence, fence. Do not take down the church fence. Very good. Now, the question is, am I going to be able to sneak between these cars? I really wish these cars weren't parked on this street. You know, and could I go into Giants Editor and move them? Sure. Have them all towed? Of course I could. But, I don't know, kind of adds to the challenge, I guess? Now, am I going to make this turn? That's the question. Nope. Ooh, I don't know, guys. I don't know if I'm going to fit down here or not. Let's find out. And I don't want this to take an hour and a half either, so. Now, I know I can clip through that sign, but I cannot clip through the building, so. Do not take the roof off. Ooh, just. Very slow. Very slow. Sneak through. Try not to knock down this person's tomato plants. Whew. That's a little tight, guys. Well, BP, that's why they make header trailers. But we're in the field. We came in the right way. We didn't go through the hedge. I'm pretty proud of myself. It's silly, right? The silly stuff that I get. It's like, wow, you drove your equipment down a road and got into a field. Good for you. Isn't that the whole point of the game? 47 minutes. So this is probably going to shape up to be close to an hour long, guys. And I'm sorry. And I know I made a long Amagawa Alps episode yesterday, which was Monday, and now it's Tuesday. You guys have probably seen that already. And if you haven't, you know, go make sure you check it out. But sometimes harvesting, you know, it takes a long time. And I don't want to do too many more time lapses because I did so much of that in Bjornholm. I will do the occasional time lapse because I do enjoy doing it. I like the process of finding music to fit to it and everything, you know. So plus it gives me a chance to just put in, you know, music that I don't listen to, you know. As you guys know, my taste in music is, you know, the faster and more aggressive, the better. So, you know, the music that I generally put in a time lapses tends to be a lot more, you know, relaxing and calming, or it tends to be, you know, dubstep or you know, house or whatever they call it. Just because I'm like, oh, you know what? I don't listen to this stuff, so let's get outside of our box a little bit and try some different music. So, I'm not gonna lie, some of the stuff that I get, you know, that I find, ends up on the MP3 player because I'm like, okay, you know what? That's heavy and aggressive in its own way. So that's just always the music I've been into ever since I was, you know, a teenager. Ever since the first time I heard, you know, I can't remember the name of the band that I first heard, and I'm not sure I can even say it on YouTube anyway. And I remember hearing it and going, oh, now there we go. You know, you have that moment, right, where music becomes a thing in your life, and you're like, oh, because when I was a little kid, my mom, who was a huge fan of classical music, loved classical music, and used to buy me records. You know, I'm old enough to remember records and to have owned records, and she used to always buy me you know, classical records, you know, Mozart and you know, Brahms and guys like that, because that's what she was into. And then one of my aunts had bought me a Kiss record. I remember I was 6 years old. She had bought me Kiss Rock and Roll Over, and I had a little record player. I may have even told this story before, I don't know. I had a little record player that I used to carry around, a little portable one. And the Kiss Rock and Roll Over had just come out the year that I turned 6. And it had a sticker on the inside of the record, or maybe it was on the outside, I don't remember, of the, you know, the cover. And I peeled the sticker off and I stuck it on my record player, you know, and I listened to that record over and over and over again. Of course, it was rock and roll, so it drove my parents crazy, you know. And You know, and that was sort of my you know, rock and roll. I like rock and roll, right? You know, and then as I got older, like Kiss wasn't doing it for me anymore. I'll be completely honest. I'm not a Kiss fan now by any means. You know what I mean? I haven't listened to Kiss probably since I was, you know, 7 or 8 years old. But they were the band that got me into rock and roll, so I have to give them that, you know. And then I just, you know, music couldn't get heavy enough or fast enough for me. You know, back in the late 70s and early 80s when I was sort of coming up, you know, there was a huge tape trading thing going on, where you would trade tapes, you know, from all over the world. You would get these little like fanzines, you know what I mean? You'd find, you know, you'd find them in the back of a rock magazine, you know, and you'd subscribe to them for, you know, 50 cents a year or whatever. And some guy was handwriting them, you know, in his house, you know, and in the back of those would always be, you know, these little like almost classified sections going, you know, I have this tape of this band, you know, from Norway, from London, from Japan, from, you know, Czechoslovakia, you know, bands that when you live in a little town in the middle of Massachusetts that you're not going to hear, you know what I mean, on the radio. You're certainly not going to hear them on the radio. You're not going to see them on TV because this is way before MTV. You're not going to, you know, you're not going to be able to go down to the mall, to the record store and buy these records. So you would write to these people and be like, okay, well, I've got a band from, say, you know, X, you know, and do you want to trade, you know? And of course everybody would be like, yeah, sure, you know. It was, honest to God, the original way to share music. Was it legal? You know, I don't know. We didn't worry about that, right? Because most of these tapes, and I'll be completely honest, most of these tapes were completely shitty garage quality, recorded with like a boom box, you know, condenser mic, just horrible quality. But man, the music, you get to hear music from all over the world, and it got me into the heavy stuff that you know, that I'm into now. And man, those were great times. You know, the original sort of Napster, the original, you know, music you know, whatever it's called, iStore or whatever the hell it's called, you know, music sort of thing. And you make a lot of cool, you know, you make a lot of cool friends. I remember I got really friendly with a guy from Germany who would just send me this just stupid heavy music, you know, that I absolutely loved. And I talked to that guy for a very long time, you know. Those were good days. Those were good times. Wow, that went in a whole different direction, huh? What did any of that have to do with Farming Simulator? But I don't know. You know me. A little more insight into the Bipolar Prophet, I guess, and what I'm into and what I'm like and all that. So we're almost done here, guys. Almost done. And then that will be another harvest on Old Ridge completed. So now, the only thing I'm thinking is, now obviously I'm complaining that these fields don't generate all that much stuff, which is true. But if I get rid of them, then I'm only going to have 3 fields. No, 2 fields. Well, 3 if you. I kind of consider those fields we started on 1 field. So we'll only have those 2 and field 10. We're really going to need to replace these fields. I may have to rethink this plan again, of course, for the interim, because I don't really have enough money to do all the stuff I want to do and buy fields. I guess what we'll probably do, because obviously we won't do any of the groundwork till everything's sold, sell all the grain and sell all the animals and everything else. I think what we're going to do that for this episode now, change of plans again, go figure, is we're going to finish this harvest. I'll get this stuff to the silo. We're going to buy the skid steer because we have the money. And then in the next episode, we're going to sell all the grain, sell all the animals, see where we are for money, and then we can really firm up a plan on what we're going to do as far as the animals go and as far as these fields go. So that's the plan for right now. You know, again, it'll probably change before this episode's even over, but because I come up with ideas and then I'm like, you know what, that doesn't really work. So, and we have to, you know, yes, these fields are not great, you know what I mean? But for right now, with the limited amount of acreage we have, you know, we kind of need it. So I guess it's all gonna come down to how much money we actually end up with after everything is sold. You know, legitimately, it would make more sense for me to wait to buy that skid steer till everything was, you know, harvested and everything was sold and all that. But I don't want to wait anymore. So That's going to be $49,000 right off the top of our 72 that we have here. So I know, you know, obviously as I said, another priority is going to be buying more cows. So more dairy cows, I should say, because I want more dairy cows. Plus the slurry and the manure will not be a bad thing. See, that's how I end up with two bits in the field, because I don't ever make a straight line. So I end up, you know, where the header will go all the way to the end of the row, and then not. You know what I mean? So you end up with two sort of chunks in the field. Because for some reason I am completely incapable of driving in a straight line. So I guess that's why they have GPS. But nah, GPS in this little field, nonsense. We'll just BP our way through it, I guess. Okay. I should probably get the well, yeah, no, I'll get the harvester into this. I mean, not the harvester, the tipper into this field and unload. And then through the magic of the rental mod, I can just send this back now because we are done. Yay! Another harvest completed here on Old Ridge. I think I might have left a little bit right here. Nope. Okay. Very cool. Go ahead and turn the parking brake on and hop out for a minute. Very cool. Another harvest completed. All right. Oh, yeah. Don't send it back until you empty it, you fool. Can you imagine? Oh, I would have been annoyed. That'd have been some of that dumbness that, you know, that would have been less funny for me. What did you do, you fool? Did you honestly just send the tipper back full? I mean, send the harvester back full. I would hope that the rental people would be like, do you want this grain? You know, obviously in the game they're not going to do that. But, okay. How much would I bet I have a harder time driving this tractor down through that little road than I did driving the harvester? To be honest, I'm amazed the harvester fit. Don't know if all of this grain is going to fit, or if I'm going to have to make 2 trips. We will find out. Yeah, we're going to be just about an hour, maybe a little over an hour. I'm trying to keep this episode, you know, at a reasonable length. So, you know, sometimes harvests, you know, take a little bit long. Ah, really? Especially when you do dumb stuff like that. Jeez, this tractor does not really respond all that great, to be honest. It doesn't have the best turning. Oh, now it would be great if all this fit in here, but it's not gonna. Nope, it's not gonna fit. Should we put the covers on? Yeah, let's put the covers. And now I don't like how the fill plane sticks through, so we won't put the covers on. All right, well, let's go dump this, grab the rest, and go buy a skid steer. And then, I think, well, I'm going to have to sell some stuff. Because if I'm going to use a skid steer for all our loading, then I won't need all the loader stuff. Although, oh, you know what I should do? Maybe it would make more sense to buy the... I'm not sure if I have it in the mod folder or not. I know I have it. To buy the adapter for the skid steer so that we can use front loader tools on it. That way we don't have to buy the stuff twice, I guess. You know, sell it and then buy it back again for the skid steer, so. Need to clean up the farmyard a little bit, too. Get that windrow parked up. Windrower, I should say, parked up. I was going to sell that plow, and then I realized, you know what? We're going to need that plow come soil mod, so I'm glad I didn't sell that. Got a lot of tippers now, but that's good, you know. Thanks to Reefy, you know, got me thinking, hey, you know what? He's right. Well, you would not put grain in a tipper that you used for manure. That would be silly. Oh, I thought I changed this so that it didn't do that anymore. I guess I didn't. Spacebar, my nemesis. Oh. Why did you set the parking brake? See, if I just shut up and pay attention, I can back up just fine. Oh, hurry up! This episode's getting really long. Normally, I don't worry about that, but I know, I know it's tough. It's tough to watch. It's tough to sit down for, for an hour, when you've got other stuff to do. So, I want to get this done as quickly as possible. Unfortunately, this IH does not like this road, so I can't just bomb down it. What I'll probably do, the next episode should actually be fairly not, super long. We'll have to think about what we're going to do with a livestock trailer, whether we're going to buy one, whether we're going to rent one, and then sell all the grain, sell all the livestock, and then maybe talk about what we're going to do, from there. Probably make that episode fairly short, just because this one's been so long, and then after that, I guess we'll start the groundwork. So soil model be installed. I will have made I will have made all my edits, hopefully, and we can start over again. So, I gotta say, it's so much fun playing on this map. I really, really enjoy it. And again, if maybe you're just coming to the channel for the first time or whatever, maybe you're new to Farming Simulator. Maybe you just, picked it up on Steam. I know occasionally they have sales on Steam, in Farming Simulator, and you just picked it up and you said, you know what, I don't really know what's going on. I want to just check it out, blah, blah, blah. And you don't have this map, go download it. Go to FSUK. It's right there on the staff choices, and probably the most downloaded mods too, because it's absolutely worth it. So. And there is going to be a V2, I hear, of this, with some, some issues addressed and some changes made. So, but to be honest, I think it's fine the way it is. Oh, wow, I went an hour and 2 minutes without the phone ringing. Good for me. Oh, well, I mean, that's just how it works, I guess. Oh, the phone is going to ring, and there's not much I can do about it. Okay, that's empty. Let's go ahead and get this. Sorry about that. Hopefully you guys didn't hear that message on the video. If you did, well, you won't hear it because I will blank it out. I should have kept talking during the announcement, but oh, because it's kind of hard for me to just stop and then start up again, with Audacity and with Raptor running and everything. A lot of alt tabbing and everything, and I just didn't want to do that. So, so you guys actually won't hear that. There might be a little snippet of noise or something in that part of the video, and that will explain what that was. So, all right, let's get this dumped. Let's get that harvester back, and then let's go buy a skid steer. Yay! Finally, an hour and 3 minutes later, he's going to finally buy that skid steer he's been talking about forever. Hopefully, I can back this up. What? Something about a laptop. Sometimes, this is a silly little thing, but oh, nope. Wow, you screwed that way up. What is going on all of a sudden? I swear the last two videos have been really loopy. I don't know what it is. Slowly and focus. And there we go. Got it. Okay, and that's the last of the grain. Very good. Now let's see how much we actually ended up with. So I want to do this, and I want to do this. I want to do that. Make sure I always set... Oh, I want to get out of the tractor. Thank you. Always set the parking brake. I'm trying to remember that now. Where's the little LED display here? Oh, it's over here. I can't quite see it. Let's see. Does this tell you how much soybeans you have? 44,974. So we got 44,974 liters of soybeans off of those fields. I guess that's not bad, right? I guess that sounds about right. So, all right, let's go ahead and return the harvester. Return this. Yes. It's kind of unfortunate you can't drive it back to the store, back to the shop and drop it off. But that crashes the game, unfortunately. So I could physically drive it over there just so long as I didn't put it in the little cell thing. I guess. So if we're gonna keep all of this stuff, we won't need that anymore. But you know what? Let's do one thing at a time. We'll worry about all that in another episode because this episode is just gonna go on forever otherwise. And there she is, $49,000 of our money. Goodbye. Our first JCB purchase. Yay! It will not be our last. That you can guarantee. And let's tab over and take a look at her because everybody else has already seen it. Now I've used this before, obviously, as you guys know, because I did. I rented it to do some logging. This thing is really cool, and I'm glad we own one now. So, one thing I do need to pick up though. Hopefully, it's in the mod folder. It may not be because I don't have a skid steer thing. No, it's not in the mod folder. I know it's not in this. Nope, that's gonna have to go in the mod folder so I can get the adapter so I can use my the front loader tools we have now. So there you go, guys. I'm sorry about the length of this episode. I'm sorry about the sort of phone call in the middle of it, or at the end of it. It's just stuff that happens, unfortunately. Hope you guys enjoyed this. If you want to give some thought to the questions that I asked in the beginning of this video, if you remember them, about the channel, about how things are going, about whether you like the videos, whether there's something you'd like to see changed or whatever, and you can let me know in the comments. That would be awesome. As always, thank you so much for everything. You guys all rock. I say that every video because I mean it from the heart. You guys are awesome, and thank you for making me a part of your YouTube day. And this is the Bipolar Prophet saying, see you later.